Welcome, sports betting world to Fade in the Books. I'm here to give out a few picks, but I'm telling you, it doesn't look like this stream is going to be long because I really don't want to give out too many picks, I should say, with this injury report. Listen, NBA, man, y'all got to do something about this tanking, man. This is crazy. It's not fair to the people that subscribing to these channels. It's not fair to the season ticket holders, man, who's buying these tickets at the start of the season and y'all finding these teams pennies on a dollar, man. This is a hobby for these owners out here, man. Like that little $500,000 fine, $100,000 fine, man. That's a drop in the bucket for them, man. It's the fans out here is the ones that's paying the price, man. And y'all really got to do something about it next season, like for real, because y'all not giving a refund on the tickets and the players are still getting paid their money. I ain't mad at the players. If the owners and the coaches and they having them sit, shit, I sit too and get my millions. But still, it's not fair to the fans at the end of the day, and y'all really need to do something about that in these next coming seasons. Because just because let me tell you something, just because a team tank and they get a number one draft pick, that doesn't mean that their franchise is gonna turn around in a year or two. That I've been around long enough to see a lot of first rounders bust. I mean, bust horrible in this league. So, with that being said, let me handle this channel business. Sitting at 178 subscribers. Hey, 22 away from 200, man. This channel has been a grind. It's been a work in progress, as I stated from the first video that was put out. But gonna keep grinding or whatnot. Still trying to hook up with some fellow creators. Look, don't be afraid to let's hook up. Collaborate on some videos, on some live streams, man. That's what we all here for, and that's what it should be. You know, let's not gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? What's up, D-Lo? Again, oh, thank you for liking and sharing out there, man. Now, back to what I was saying. Still like to try and collaborate with a few other creators out there on this sports betting thing. It's hard out here. You miss a bet or two, man, and they ready to leave you. That's because they don't understand sports betting. You'll have a good week. You might have two bad weeks. You might have another good week. But if you bankroll, if you manage your bankroll properly, hey, you'll be able to sustain the NBA season, MLB season, NFL season, whatever sport you betting on. Bankroll management is important when it comes to sports betting. So I got maybe two or three picks that I am going to play tonight. But again, I'm going to be checking this injury report on X as I'm doing this stream to see if any players are ruled out. Some of them are some big time players, man, that can make a big difference when it comes to picks. So we're gonna switch over here to Props Madness. I love this tool, man. It's helped me, win a few parlays out there, whatnot, man. And hey, I'm also right now in the process of trying to get getting their affiliate program, I should say. So I'm just waiting on a response for them, man. Maybe they check out some videos, see I'm out here trying to grind. Hey, you right. That just mean they ain't loyal. But you know what? Let me tell you, D-Lo, whether it's one person in your stream or 50 people in your stream, hey, you still got to go out there and do what you do. You know, you know how it is. When you make it, that's when everybody want to jump on the bandwagon. But you already know from the streams, and you can go back and look and see who's in the comments, who's like sharing the posts. Those are your day ones. That's who you do it for. But with that being said, one of the first picks I like is from the Grizzlies Pistons game, and I'm looking at Marcus Sasser, and I'm looking at his under on points. It's at 9.5 right now, and I tell you what, you can just look from this graph right here. He's under that line in 4 of 20 games, and if we max it out, he's under it in 424 games right now. So when you think about that, man, it's like, you can't pass up something like that. Now, granted, they may have some players out. It may be a blowout, but even then, he's still with 8 points here. He played 29 minutes. He had 21 minutes here. They won by 38. But we're looking at this data here, 420 of under 9.5 points. I'm definitely rolling with that one. You never know. I mean, the Grizzlies, they may make it a game. They got a lot of players that's probably going to be sitting. So Marcus Sasser under 9.5 points. I'm definitely taking this play. Another one I looked at was Cade Cunningham and his assists. That line was actually at 10.5, and it's then came down to 9.5. Um, I'm not sure what's going on. I see Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris. I guess they're questionable, right? Or probable. One's probable, and well, let's say they're both questionable. So they played, I think, 3 quarters last night. I know Durham, I think, played maybe 15 minutes or something like that. Cade played, I think, the first 3 quarters. So anticipating a blowout here. I will probably take the Cade 9.5 on his assist line. If Duran plays or Tobias Harris plays, that's probably one of them lines, especially if those guys are on. He can have 10 assists by halftime. I mean, he had 13, and I think he had most of those by halftime. I think he had maybe 10 by halftime on 17 potentials. He had 13, so that's very high right there. So Marcus Sasser under 9.5 points. Cade Cunningham over on his assist will probably be a lean. I probably still end up playing that one. Um, Another one that I like is we're gonna scoot down here to the Blazers and Jazz, and I'm gonna play somebody you probably never heard of. His name is Cody Williams. I was watching a fellow creator earlier this morning on his stream, and I do that. I like to look at some of the other guys and why they take certain people because again, it's a lot to try and go through all of these players and look at lines and whatnot. So it's kind of cool, that we can kind of piggyback off of one another on picks. And he said something about Cody Williams that got my attention. He said Cody Williams, I think he's kin to Jalen Williams, the one that's I think sitting out for OKC. And he said that because Utah sits a lot of their players, they got like a lot of them out. He's been playing like 30, 40 minutes. He played 38 minutes in the last game, finished with 10 points, played 43 minutes against Golden State, played 37 minutes and 36 minutes. And he said that he'll probably get a lot of burn tonight. And I was like, you know what? He's probably right. Jazz is tanking. They're playing the Trailblazers. I know it's a more than 10 point spread. I think it is tonight, so it could be a blowout. And he's definitely gonna get those minutes. And all we're asking for is 10 points. So I'm definitely running with him tonight. And I was like, man, I never would have thought, thought to look at him of all people, But again, when you look at other people's videos, man, they'll throw something out there that you may not even see. So Cody Williams for over 9.5 points. If that man plays over 30 minutes, over 35 minutes or so, he's gonna cash that line. And he's been playing it the last 4 games. He's been playing over 35 minutes. So I'm definitely taking Cody Williams over on that one. So that's 2 picks there, and I got to lean with the Cade Cunningham assist over 9.5. Um, Another play I was looking at was for the Mavs here. Oh, they moved his line up. It was 10.5. They took it up to 12.5 for Max Christie. Mm. Ooh, that changed my mind there on that one. If anything, I may look at a Cooper flag under on his PRA. That may be a play. He's under it in 9 of the last 20 games. This Cavs team, they are without Jared Allen, who's their main rim protector. The Mavs, I do believe, is coming off a back-to-back. Yes. They just played the Grizzlies and he had 26 and he played 33 minutes. So I know Cleveland plays at a slower pace. We can check that out here. Let's see. See if we can find their pace. There it is, 13. So they're kind of right in the middle of the pack when it comes to pace. Um, and as you can see, with a slower pace, not too many possessions there to cover that line. Again, he's under it in 5 of 20 games. So Cooper Flag under 32.5. That'll probably be another play for me um, tonight that I like. Let's go ahead and lock that one in. Some of these plays I already had down to go over with you guys, but the lines has been moving so much because of all these injuries that's out there. So man, it's really hard to keep up with them. Um, Another play I was gonna go with was Jarris Walker, and I was gonna take his points, rebounds, and assists under. But the thing is this: if Siakam plays, I love the line. I love the under. If he doesn't play, I'm kind of lost. And right now he's doubtful. So I'm thinking that he probably won't play. Um, my other play may be a Nimhart points rebounds, and assists. And let's go here to Nimhart. He's questionable. Maybe a points rebound and assist on him. Maybe a under. I know he played the first half yesterday. And man, he cost a lot of people some bread, him and Zubac, because they only played one half. So, you know, that's a Carlisle for you, man. Neesmith, if he plays, um, I may take an under on him or whatnot. Um, I don't know, man. I may end up staying away from it because I got too much doubt with these Pacer players in Carlisle. Um, Suns and Raptors. I definitely like this guy right here, Jalen Green, over 18.5 points. This dude, he's finally found his little niche there in Phoenix. Got off to a bad start after that trade from Houston and whatnot. But man, this dude, the attempts is going to be there, especially if Grayson Allen sits again, and he's probable. With Grayson Allen, he could. I still think he can get that line against Toronto. Again, you see here with 2 games, he had 25. So, like I said, he's starting to get his niche. He's starting to get his minutes up or whatnot. As you see here, he was playing 20 minutes, 4 minutes, 16. That was an overtime game. 26. They started getting ramped up. 31 there, 32, 31, 33. He played 34, 33. So it's a nice little rhythm here for him. So Jalen Green over 18.5 points. I like that one for tonight. They should be able to get that done against Toronto. One thing I noticed with with props madness, man, if you go through too many filters, man, you'll just mess yourself up with the picks. Find a couple of filters that you like, and roll with it. If you like a rebounder, look at his rebound chances. In other games, look at the matchup when it comes to rebounds. Look at his line, over or under. It's just that simple. Don't confuse yourself out here. Um, Rockets and Pelicans, and Mr. Jabari Smith Jr. And I was looking at his points, rebounds, and assists, the under on it. Houston is an interesting team. And I'll tell you why. Sengun, he can be out. Kevin Durant can still get his points. Thompson can get points. Jabari Smith can get points. Like all these guys can still get buckets, right? But if Eason is in the lineup, somehow, some way, he affects a lot of people numbers, man. So right now, Jabari Smith here is 10 of 20 for points, rebounds, and assists. So I'm just gonna see what it's like when he plays with him. He's 8 of 20. 8 of 20 with playing with Terry Eason. And I was like, that is crazy. And it's like that across the board, too. If you look at a man Thompson with Terry Eason, his numbers are somewhat down. KD is KD, especially when it comes to points. But those two people, Terry Eason really affects their numbers. So I was like, well, if Terry Eason is playing, even if Sun Gun plays, let's see what we got with Sun Gun. Even without Sun Gun, he's still 2 of 5 with Sun Gun playing. So Terry Eason, man, just something about playing with him, man, that just gets people numbers. So Jabari Smith, I'm definitely going to play his under on points, rebounds, and assists. I actually got like 2 or 3 plays from this one, and I'm going to go over those real quick with you. I see they don't have a Jabari Smith line on FanDuel here, so we'll see if they add one. Also, speaking of Terry Eason, his 3 pointers. He's under 1.5, 8 out of 20 games. Again, this is just a numbers play. I'm going to roll with that one. I'm going to take that. I'm going to play that one tonight. A Terry Eason under 1.5 threes. My last play for next game, I like Devontae Murray. And I took him at an alternate this game at 15 points. Just because he's hit 15 his last 6 or 7 games. It's not too much of a drop off when it comes to the value. Again, if you're parlaying these 15 points, I like it. Houston defense, don't let it fool you. The last 5, 10 games, man, they haven't been looking too good. Again, they just got blown out the other night by Denver, I think it was. And Denver isn't the Denver team that of old or that we're used to seeing. Denver put it on them. So Javonte Murray coming off a day's rest, I like him to get 15 points at least against the Rockets. So that's 3 plays from that game that I actually like. But Jabari Smith, they don't have his points, rebounds, and assists up here. They don't have a line for it. So let's see if his points or rebounds is on there. I mean, his under 15.5 points may even be a play. When we talk about him playing with Eason, he's under that 9 to 20. So he's almost at 50% with that. Playing against the Pelicans. So let's look at this pace here. 7 to 20 with a favorable pace. That's kind of why I want to put it with either points and rebounds or points and assists. He's 8 of 20 there. Probably take the PR if it's on there. I'm gonna look and see if it's on FanDuel for a points and rebounds play with him. I think I'm at 21.5 plus 100. We're gonna go ahead and roll with it. 21.5. 50% with it. We'll roll with it. Let's see. Can we get something? Let's see how it looks without Sengun. Without Sengun, he's over it. So it's gonna be one of those plays, man. We may need Terry Eason to go off tonight to help us out with that pick. But I'm still gonna roll with it at plus money. Let me give you a couple more. Let's go through them. Clippers and Bulls. Interesting. Could be a blowout. I see Josh Giddey is playing. I definitely don't like him for over his points, rebounds, and assists against those guys. That may be a play there. Points, rebounds, and assists. I like that against the. He's expected to play 27 to 37 minutes. We all know that can change there. Clippers have been playing some surprisingly good defense lately. I mean, some really good defense. So his points, rebounds, and assists under. Kind of like that. You don't have a line for the over. Um, I kind of like that, and I do believe they're playing a back. They're coming off a back to back too. So I mean, they didn't have to travel far. Being in LA. But I'm still gonna take this. Could be a blowout. It's a 13.5 point spread. So Josh Giddey, his points, rebounds, and assists. Definitely take an under on that one. They got at 34.5. FanDuel. Let's see. I got a few more plays on here. I don't like the Max Christie play. James Harden. Let's go back here. Let's look at James Harden. 20 points. I got him for. At an alternate. No Jared Allen still. Let's see what he's doing without Jared Allen. 14 to 20 for 20 points. Mitchell is just now getting back in the Mitchell. 2 or 3. Sam Merle isn't. I think he's questionable. He may be ruled out. He may get ruled out. So James Harden for 20 points against this Mavs team. I like that. James Harden 20 points. Put me down for that. Over 20 or 20. Let's say 20 plus. We got the Cody Williams play. I think that's all I'm going to go with. I got James Harden down. This is what I got. James Harden, 20 points. Cooper Flag, under 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Terry Eason, under 1.5 3. Javante Murray, 15 points. Jabari Smith, I have him under 21.5 points and rebounds. Jalen Green, over 18.5 points. Marcus Sasser, under 9.5 points. Cody Williams, over 9.5 points. And Josh Giddey, under 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's what I'm rolling with tonight. Appreciate all y'all that checked out the stream. Again, if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Like, comment on this video, help push it out to others' algorithm. I do have a YouTube short out there with 5 picks for today's game if you want to check that out. Again, I pretty much do shorts every day. So if you don't get a video, you're probably getting a short out there to look at. So with that said, appreciate y'all checking out the streams. Again, subscribe, like, comment, and I will see y'all on the next video.